Hi everybody, this is Sandra and I am at work. And this is Matthew 9:37 and it's on the harvest. It says, I don't know if I can get it all in there or not. It says, then saith he unto the disciples, which is the pupil in Greek, the harvest, which is the reaping, truly is plenteous, it means abundant. But the laborers, which is the workmen, are few. Matthew 9 verse 38. Pray ye therefore the Lord, which is our master in Greek, of the harvest, which is the reaping in Greek, that he will send forth laborers, which is workmen in Greek, into his harvest, which is reaping in Greek. Matthew 13:30, it says, let both grow together into the harvest, which is the reaping in Greek, and in the time of harvest, which is the reaping in Greek, I will say to the reapers, which is the harvester, let's see, gather means to assemble in Greek, ye together first, the tares, which is the false Christians, and the bind means to bound them in bundles, to burn them. But gather means to assemble in Greek, the wheat, which is the sons of the kingdom, the Christians, into my barn. Mark 4 verse 29, but when the fruit is brought forth immediately, means at once, he putteth in the sickle, which is a pruning hook, because the harvest, which is the reaping, is come. Luke 10 verse 2, therefore said he unto them, the harvest, which is the reaping, truly is great, but the laborers, which is the workmen in Greek, are few. Pray ye therefore that the Lord, which is our master in Greek, of the harvest, which is the reaping in Greek, that he would send forth the laborers, which is the workmen in Greek, into the harvest, to his harvest, which is reaping. John 4 verse 35, it says, say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest, means reaping in Greek. Behold means to see in Greek. I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the field, which is the country in Greek, for they are white already to harvest. I think this is Revelations 14 verse 15. It says, and another angel, which is a messenger in Greek, came out of the temple crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, which is Jesus in Greek, thrust in thy sickle, that means pruning hook in Greek, and reap means to gather in Greek, for the time is come for thee to reap, which is to gather in Greek, for the harvest, which is the reaping in Greek, of the earth is ripe. I think this is Joshua 3:15. It says, and as they that bear, means laid open in Greek, the ark, were come unto Jordan, and the feet of the priests, and that bear means to laid open the ark, were dipped into the brim, which is to fill up in Greek, of the water. For Jordan overfloweth all his banks all the time of harvest, which is the reaping in Greek. Matthew 13 verse 39, the enemy that soweth, means the seed in Greek, them is the devil. The harvest, which is the reaping in Greek, is the end of the world. And the reapers, which is the harvesters in Greek, are the angels, which is messenger. Let me turn this around here. So, with everything that has gone on, thank God, God allowed the shutdown, because let's be honest, I would say most of the world was going to hell, and thank God that He allowed this. And I told you, God said He's going to turn it around. He's going to give the United States one more chance. And I told you, He said that we have to vote. We have to get the Democrats, the corrupted Democrats, and there's Republicans out of those seats. We had to vote them out. And I did tell you, God said that He warns every Christian who goes in there, if you vote for a Democrat that believes in aborting his children, and God says they're a blessing, God said He's going to turn you over to Satan. Those are not my words. Those are God's words. Everything that's going on as Christians, how we fight is on our knees. God said every week to keep praying, every week fast, 2 to 3 days a week, and he will turn this around. But he's not going to turn it around if we ain't on our knees crying out and asking God to give us another chance. You know, for years he said the foundation is praying. You know, that's just the bottom here, people. The foundation is praying, God, give us more time for souls to be saved. Give us more time for souls to be saved. And God is trying to turn this around, but we have to do our job. As Christians, we have to pray. We are to be in our word. We are to be fasting. Do you remember Esther in the Bible? And she's my favorite in the Bible. You know, she was so strong to do what she had to do. In those days, no woman could go to the king unless he called for her, or she could be put to death. So she knew when she had to go to her husband, you know, to tell him that her people were the Jews, because he never knew that. And then he had already made a law that all the Jews were to be killed. But when he found out that the Jews was her people, he made a law where they could fight for themselves, to stand up and protect themselves. So she called for the nation, for all the Christians, to fast 3 days. And that was even including the children. So let's keep praying. Stay in your word. Let's fast 3 days a week. For God said he's going to turn around. He's going to give us one more chance. But we have to do our job. We have to vote. We have to vote the Democrats out. We have to take a stand. Let me tell you what. It is easier now that you have to take a stand than it's going to be if you don't take a stand, because then it's going to be socialism. And then God, and I told you a couple years ago, God showed me in a vision at work, it is not just going to be the Jews in the prison camps, it's going to be the Christians right along with them. And that means your wife, your children, your grandchildren, they're going to kill every one of us. So we have to take a stand now. We have to take a stand. God needs us to stand now. I mean, quit being afraid of the cops. You know, our governor's just the governor. What they're doing is not law. There's no law that says that you have to wear a mask. There's no law that says you have to wear plastic gloves. There's none. They are testing you. They're seeing how far they can push you and what you will put up with. So take a stand. Stand up for our rights. Stand up. God is the one that give us this nation. You know, our forefathers, they give it back to God. You know, this is God's, and we're to take care of it, and we didn't do a very good job for all the stuff that we've allowed as Christians to go on. And as Christians, to even vote for people that believe in murdering a baby. Really? I just can't, I can't believe if you can vote for a Democrat that believes in aborting a baby, that you're a Christian. You would have to check yourself. I think you would need to get on your knees and pray and ask God to open your eyes and show you what you're doing wrong. You know, and you know, there are people that are blinded, that Satan blinds. You know, like one time I was going to a church, and my husband knew right off the bat there was something wrong with that church, and I didn't see it. So he kept telling me I didn't want to go back to that church. He said because there was something wrong with that church, that they're not, it was man running the church, not God. So I prayed that night, and I got on my knees, and I prayed, and I said, God, I said, if I'm blind, and I'm asking you to open my eyes and show me what I do not see. Open my spiritual eyes, open my spiritual ears, soften my heart. So that night, well, it had been like late in the evening, I fell asleep on the couch, and I was looking around, feeling around. I was blinded, and I couldn't get out of it. I could tell I was blinded, and I understood God was showing me that I was blinded. So then I prayed, God, then open my eyes, open my eyes, open my spiritual eyes. So that's what I would say for you today, for everyone that's believing the Democrats and still believing their crap. Oh my God, you are blinded. So pray and ask God to open your spiritual eyes, your spiritual ears, and soften your heart. So that's what that's all I have to say today. So take it as you will. Like it or not, don't come from me, it comes from the Lord. Y'all have a good day and keep our president in prayer. Amen.